the class. Now I am just starting the session, and as we know, we have started this lecture series on 2nd April 2020, and it is scheduled up to 1st June 2022, which is written 2021, that is not 2022. Okay, so but on 28th May, I will not be here. That's why it will, you can say, it is the last class for this session, and another new orientation will be sent to you later on, but it will be the last class for this session. Okay, and whatever we have studied today, we will recap it, and today what we will do, we will try to understand the Jatak Kathas as well Panchatantra in Indian tradition. And not only this one, we will try to understand the text. We will try to understand the uh, meaning behind the word which is written in the text. Okay. So all these things we will see uh, within 45 to 50 minutes. So concentrate yourself on these points, and if you have any question, if you have any doubt, you can raise your hand so that I will try to sort it out at the end of lecture. Okay, so first of all, what we have studied in the last classes, there are there were total 8 classes, 8 Saturdays we have studied. In the very beginning, we have started with simple sentences. After that, Sanskrit, classification of Sanskrit words, where we have studied Nam, Akhyat, Upsarga, and Nipat, and we have studied in detailed manner that what is Nam, name, a noun, pronoun, adjective, all these things. Akhyat, that means verb. Upsarga, that means uh, prefix, and Nipat, that is near about indeclinable or avyay, like that. And third day, in the that is uses of Sanskrit sentences, uses of case in Sanskrit sentences. And in this lecture, we have studied specifically what is the case and how we can use while we are trying creating sentences, while we are trying to understand Sanskrit text. Okay, so that is a crucial point in Sanskrit grammar. That's why I have introduced this one. And when you have completed almost 50% of your course, then we have tried to introduce ourselves, and you have also practiced how to introduce yourself, how to introduce your family, how to introduce your country, all these things. After that, again, indeclinable, because when you are learning the uh, extract the meaning from extract the meaning from the text, you can see that most of the sentence, those are equipped with indeclinables. We have seen in the Sadharam Pundarik Sutra also, atha, khalu, like these terms, these are uh, under category of indeclinable. So we have given full lecture on this one. After that, 6th and 7th days, we have tried to understand notion of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, and specifically the important aspect in Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, that is hybrid Sanskrit, or you can say Pali Prabhavit Sanskrit, Pali affected Sanskrit. So for this point, it is very important text. That's why we have taken this one. Not only uh, hybrid Sanskrit, but also you know very well when we are trying to understand Sanskrit Buddhism. At that time also Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, that is an important text. So while we are trying to understand Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, because only two texts we have we touched during the all sessions. So Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, and while we are trying to understand Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, we have tried to understand how we have uh, taken texts from Sanskrit Buddhism, and the division of Buddhist different disciplines, and what is the content of those disciplines we have just tried to understand, and from where we can take different type of Sanskrit text, specifically in Buddhist area, because this course has been designed uh, for Buddhist students only, because it was due to their requests only. But unfortunately, the time management, specifically what we have decided to introduce the time, that is not suitable for those students. And in future, whenever I will introduce the course for those students, I will try to manage, because this is the time for chanting for those students. That's why they are unable to join. Whatever I have informed. Okay. Anyway, so these texts are concerned with Buddhism, but written in either in Sanskrit or translated in Sanskrit. So there are so many texts, not only one, two, number of texts you can see here. Okay, and not only this one, but also the Jatak stories, uh, the hymns for chanting, or you can say philosophical text. All these are written in Sanskrit. Not only this one, but if you are trying to understand Tantra, specifically in Mahayana Buddhism, you can find there are a number of texts which is written in Sanskrit. Not only Tantra text, but also epic Mahakavya. You can find in which is written in Sanskrit, and the play that is written in Sanskrit. We have just tried to list here, and we have studied Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, which is the first of Navdharma Sutra. Okay, and there are so many texts where in the previous workshop, uh, one of scholar, he has nicely explained the Lalit Vistar, and in future we will try to introduce such type of workshop or such type of learning program, where we will introduce all different texts which is important to learn. Okay. Sadhana Pundari Sutra we have studied in specific manner, and the most important points were how to extract meaning from the text, what is the important point to understand all these things, specifically whatever we have studied in starting classes: naam, akhyat, upasarg or nipat, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and tradition. All these things, how you can use in during uh, extracting the meaning from sentences. So I have just given some examples, and we have just uh, explained the Vishaya, Adhikari, Sambandh, and Prayojan. What is the subject matter content? and who is eligible to understand text, and what is the relation between text and who is reading the text, and why they are trying to learn. So all these four things are not only in Buddhism, but you find in traditional Indian texts. Each and every text, these are equipped and well defined according to these terms: Vishay, Adhikari, Sambandh, and Prayojan. And I have given some specific tools so that you can extract the meaning according, or split the words and find meaning. So you can utilize all these things. And this is the last class, that's why I am just trying to recap in detail so that you can utilize these 8 days. And if you have any question, if you have any doubt after this uh, program, you can ask. Or once you are joining in the class, then you are supposed to uh, continue your queries or your questions. You can share me with me, so there is no issue at all. Whenever you are finding facing any issue, you can ask. Okay, so after that we have given some text so that you can try to explain this one. Today what we are trying to understand, because we have explained all these things within 15 minutes. Now we are just trying to understand. You are knowing very well that the Jataka stories. But when you are talking about a Jatak story, there are two main points you need to keep in mind. First of all, these are concerned with the different birth of that Almighty, or you can say Lord Buddha. On another term, it is used for fables, or you can say the text which is written for different type of moral to explain moral concepts by using different types of stories. Okay, in the same way, if you see Panchatantra, here you can find that all these are moral stories for kids specifically, but it has been written on the ground of different stories which is concerned with animal or birds. But the core concept is how to educate kids, or the person who is trying to do something new, creative work, for those how you can educate them. Because you know very well, if you are trying to contribute for your nation, contribute for yourself, contribute for your family, it is important that you have to learn about morality. For example, nowadays we are when we are doing research, because I see uh, there are so many students who are belonging from uh, research area right now. While you are completing your research, at that time your supervisor or your institution asks that you just submit your synopsis or your write up, that will be examined. Examined means you have, if you have copied from any other sources, So just see if your supervisor is questioning on your research or your uh, loyalty, that you have not worked properly or you have copied from any other sources. That is the reason that you have to check. You have to check your write up with certain tools. If it is it is rejected, then you have to reorganize your research work, and again you have to submit. So suppose if you are well educated regarding morality, then such type of question will not arise. Okay. So I think morality is very important thing, and that's why Panchatantra like text we could find. Okay. So now I will go through the text of Panchatantra. Before, we are just trying to I'm just trying to introduce you with this text. Okay. So Panchatantra, you can say that this is the well structured moral story text for kids. You can say that it is found first. It can be placed first in the row of moral textbook for specifically kids. And if you see, if you try to find the original origin, or if you find the time frame of this text, it is very difficult to define. But on the basis of different commentaries, different translations, you can say that it was existed. It was written in before third century BCE, and the author is Pandit Vishnu Sharma, because the name of Vishnu Sharma is written within the text. You know very well that when you are just trying to find evidence historically, either it will be external or it will be internal. So the name which is written internally, that is you can find it in the text. We will see the text today, and somewhere we can find the name Basubhag. Basubhag, but in the text we are finding Pandit Vishnu Sharma. Okay. This text is divided in total different parts, that is called as Mitra Bhed, Mitra Labh, Kakolukiyam, Pranas, and Aparikshit Karak. So when we are starting the education in traditional way, in specifically in India, we are supposed to study this text, Mitra Labh. It is called as Hitopadesh. So this is the first text to study, and another text, that is Amarkos, that is the text which is based on synonyms, based on the dictionary of the words which is used in day-to-day life. So the first text, that is Hitopadesh or Mitralav. Second one is Amarkos. Third one is the grammar text. All these are basic text while you are trying to learn in Indian, according to Indian culture or Indian education system, traditional education system. But nowadays it is quite changed. But if you see the Gurukul system, then you will find the same thing. And that's why I have taken this text as a second text to read in this session. And it is quite similar to Jatak stories in Buddhist studies. So you can compare in such way. And this text has been mentioned that it is written in 3rd BCE. But if you see the original text, then because it is not available in original form, that's why you can't say that when it was existing. Okay, so now I am coming on the original text of this textbook, and I have tried to put in two parts. One that is written in Devanagari, and the first one is written in Roman, so that it will be easy to read, easy to understand for all students, because you are belonging from different places, so that will be beneficial for you. That's why I have just translated it. Let's say first of all, you will find that it is written Katha Mukham. What does it mean by Katha Mukham? Because you will see the text of Bharvat, well-known prose writer, who's Indian well-known prose writer, is called as he is um, poet Bharvat. In his text also you will find the same thing, Katha Mukham, Kadambari, Katha Mukham, like that. Katha Mukham means the starting point of stories, starting point of the story. Okay, starting point of story. So what is the starting point of story? Because you recently we have studied that it has been written in 5 different parts, Mithila, Surat, all these things. So in the very beginning, it is written that Tat Yatha Sruyate, Tat Yatha Anu Sruyate. You can see Tat Yatha Anu Sruyate. The structure is quite simple. Sruyate, that is the verb. Sruyate, to listen. Sruyate means it is written in passive voice, that it is listened, it is learned. Asti Dakshinatye Janapade Mahilarupyam Nagaram. There is a city, the name of that city is Mahilarupya. And it means at the very beginning, in the very beginning, the text starts with a story. The story is based on the a city, and the name of the city is Mahilarupya. And where it is situated, it is Dakshinatya, means southern part of India. Dakshinatya Mahilarupyam Namanagaram. And here Tatra Sakalarthi Kalpadrumah Pravara Mukutumani Marichi Maraj जरा चर्चित चरण युगल सकल कला पारंगतो पर नाम राजा बभूव. Where there was a king, and his name was Parasakti. Tasya trayah putraha. There are there were 3 sons of that king, whose name was Parasakti. Param Durmedhaso, Bahushakti, Rudra Sakti, Ananta Sakti, Cheti. There are 3 sons, Bahusakti, Ugra Sakti, and Anant Sakti. These are the names of that son of that king. So there was a king. The name of the city was Mahilarupya, There was a king and he has three sons, Vahusakti, Ugra Sakti, and Anant Sakti. And later on, what happens? He saw that his sons are not interested in learning anything, specifically the Shastra. And he was not they were not understanding what to do and what not to do. So etan pasyato etan pasyato, you can see this here, etan me mahatapi rajyam na saukyam avahati. He was thinking that I have everything, but even that I am not satisfied with my kingdom. Why? For that, there are so many shloka, so many verses are given there, that why he was not uh, satisfied with his kingdom. So he is saying, Ajata mrita murkhebhyo mrita jato suto varam jat suto swalpa dukkhaya yavat jivam jarodahet. He was saying that if son is not getting their birth, it means if I was without son, that is good. But my if my sons are fool or not learned, then it is very difficult, because if I have no son, then there is only one type of sorrow. If I have um, sons, but they are foolish, they are not learned, then it will give sufferings for whole the life to me. So he is saying that ajata mrita murkhebhyo mrita jato sutovaram jat suto swalpa dukkhaya yavat jivam jarodahet. And in the second verse, again the same thing, because he is just saying that it is important, if you have kid, those uh, must be learned. If they are foolish, if they are not learned, then it will be cause of sufferings. And for that concept is the king is giving different argument. So here varam garbhastravo varamritesu varamamritesu naiva vigamanam varam jatapreyo varamapi च कन्यैव जनिता varam vandhya bharya varamapi च गर्भेषु वसते न चा विद्वान् रूपद्रविण द्रविगुण yukto pitanaya. Some typological errors are there. That's why. किम तया क्रियते धेन्वा न सूतो न दुग्धदा कोर्थः पुत्रेण जातेन जो न विद्वान न भक्तिमान. He is saying, किम तया क्रियते धेन्वा, if you have cow and she is not able to give milk, neither she can't give milk, neither she can't give the calf, then there is no utility of that cow. Like that, Kortha Putrena Jatina, Jon Vidwan Dharmika. If he is not learned, if he is not obedient, then why you are thinking that I should have sons? So in such way, he is just explaining all these things. Then that my son must be learned, because these three sons are not interested in learning anything. So that is very difficult for me. And at the end, तदेतेषां यथा बुद्धि प्रकाशो भवति तथा कोऽप्यो पायो अनुष्ठीयताम् अत्र च मद्दातां वृत्तिं भुञ्जानां पंडितानां पंचसति तिष्ठति. He is saying that there are 500 scholars are in this court who are getting salaries from my side. So I am just trying to find one of them who can educate my sons. And if you compare the story in Sadharam Pundari Sutra, also you have seen that there are 5,000 uh, learners are there when he was just trying to explain the dharma. Here he is saying tato yathamam manoratha siddhim yanti tatha anushtiyatam. So you should do in which way my desired thing can get place. Tatra ekah provacha. In that court, there was one scholar. He was saying, Deva द्वादश वर्षिभे वैयाकरणं श्रूयते ततो धर्म शास्त्राणि वात्स्यायनादीनि एवं च ततो धर्मार्थ काम सूत्राणि जायन्ते ततः प्रतिबोधनं भवन्ति अथ तम् अध्ययतः सुमतिर्नाम सचिवः प्राह आसावत्योऽयं जीवितव्य विषयः प्रभूत काल ज्ञेय येयान् निबद्ध शब्द शास्त्राणि तत्संक्षेप मात्रं शास्त्रं किंचित प्रबोधनार्थं चिंतयामि इति उक्तं च. One scholar is saying that we can understand easily this thing that at least 12 years we need to teach, we need to have to teach grammar. After that only we can teach dharma shastra. Dharma shastra means the rules of the code of conduct. And after that, the Varsha-amritam, who was the author of Kama Sutra. So after that, we can teach them the Kama Sutra and all other texts. So in between, another secretary whose name was Sumati is saying that all these things we are not capable to teach in this specific time. So we can teach them in nutshell. So he is saying अनंतपारं किल शब्द शास्त्रं स्वल्पं यथा तथायुर्बहवश्च विघ्ना सारः ततो ग्राह्यमपास्य फल्गो हंसेर यथा क्षीरमिवाम्बु मध्यात्. He is saying that all the shastra, all the texts, these are unlimited. It is not quite easy to teach them. So it is very difficult, and there are so many different types of troubles. So we need to teach in such a way which is very specific. We need to teach in specific manner. Like he is giving an example that the hunks, the goose, it is very expert to choose what is good or what is bad. So he can bifurcate, and what is acceptable, like milk, he it will accept, and rest he is just skipping. So he is saying anantaparam kila shabda shastram. This shabda shastra vyakaran, that is unlimited. You can't teach in without being specified. So anantaparam kila shabda shastram swalpam tathayurbhavasya vigna, because we have certain time to learn. Sarang tato prajyam apasya falgo hanser yatha chiram ivambu madhyat. So we need to have specified way to teach them all these three sons. So what we could learn till now, that there was a king, and he has three sons, and he just tried to uh, make educated to their sons, and he was just trying to find such type of guru. And at the end, Tadatra asti Vishnu Sarma Nam, and that Sumati, the secretary whose name was Sumati, he was saying, Tad Atra asti Vishnu Sarma Nam Brahmana. There is a Brahman. His name is Vishnu Sarma, who is in this court, because we have already mentioned that there are 500 scholars in that court. So he is saying that he is Sakala Shastra Parangata, that is Samala, that is Sakala Shastra. Sakala Shastra Parangata. He is expert in all types of text. Chhatra Sangsadi Labdha Kirte. Chhatra Sangsadi means he is uh, famous in the court, in the parliament of student. Parliament of students means the student society. You should not translate as it is. You can just say that student society. He is well known in student society, because you know very well there are so many different scholars, different gurus, but some of those who has the fame in student group, that he is teaching well, and he can teach this topic also. So he is saying that he is expert, and another thing, he has fame also, because you see, uh, to teach someone, that is very easy, but if you are teaching and you will be accepted, that has two major things. And we have mentioned several times that the great poet Kalidas, he is explaining all these things, that Srishta Kriya Kasya Chidatma Sangstha Sankrantiranyasya Vishesha Yukta Jasyo Bhayam Sadhusa Shikshakanam Duri Pratishtha Paitavyeva. It means some there are different types of scholars. One who has the knowledge of subject, and another who has the knowledge how to deliver, how to make it understandable, and who has both of the things, who is expert in delivering, he is expert in the text or the shastra. If both quality are there, he will be only accepted in the society. So here also he is saying that the Vishnu Sarma, who has expert in all text, all different text or disciplines, and also he is well fame. He has well fame in the student society. Tasmai samarpayatu etan. So just uh, submit, or just give these sons to him only. Sa nunam drak prabuddhan karisyati. I am sure that nunam, again it is indeclinable. Saha nunam, he will be able to make them expert. The Prabudhan, Prabudhan means knowledgeable. Karisyati, he will do them knowledgeable. He will make them knowledgeable. Sa Raja Tadakar se Vishnu Sarmanam Ahuya Provach. The king called Vishnu Sarma, and uh, he requested, हो भगवन मदनुग्रहार्थम एतान अर्थशास्त्रम प्रति द्राग यथा अनुनय सदृशान अनन्य सदृशान विदधासि तथा कुरु. Now you are requested to make them expert in arthashastra and another disciplines. aham tvam shasana satena yojayishyami. If you will do this thing, then I will give you 100 shasana. Shasana means the that is uh, type of mudra or another thing, that I will give 100. अथ विष्णु शर्मा तम राजानम ऊच ऊच ऊचे. Then Vishnu Sarma, the name of that guru, the Vishnu Sarma has replied, Sruyatam me tathya vachanam. Please try to understand my words carefully. Naham vidya vikrayam. I am not knowledge seller. I am not such type of man who is selling the knowledge. Shasan satyanap kim karomi. If you will give 100 mudra, what I will do with them? Because I am not selling. Punaha etang एतांस्तव पुत्रान् मा सटकेन यदि नीति शास्त्रज्ञं न कारयामि ततः सर्वां त्यागं करिष्यामि. Say he was telling that I am promising you that I will make your sons expert in morality within 6 months. Tatah sarvam, if I will fail to do this thing, then I will leave everything. Kim bahuna suyatam mamaish singhnadaha. He was saying that just listen my words. Singhnad means he is just emphasizing on his words. Naham artha Naham artha lipisur bravimi. Naham artha lipisur bravimi. मामसीति वर्षस्य वया व्यावृत्य सर्वेन्द्रियार्थस्य न किंचित अर्थे प्रयोजनम किंतु प्रार्थनाध्यर्थम सरस्वती विनोदम करिष्यामि. He is saying that I have spent my life and almost I have spent 80 years. Now I am 80 years old. That's why you will see in the commentaries that when he has written this text, at that time he was 80. So I am 80 years old. So I have nothing to do with your wealth. So yadi this one where this one is यदि अहम षड्मासाभ्यंतरे तव पुत्रान् नीति शास्त्रं प्रति अन्य सदृशान् न करिष्यामि ततो नार्हति देवो देव मार्गम संदर्शयतु. He is saying, if I will not be able to do this work properly, then you can kill me. It is written in different word that you can show me the door of god of death. Okay, so you can send me to god of death, which means you can kill me. अथासो राजा ताम ब्राह्मणस्या संभाव्यां प्रतिज्ञां श्रुत्वा सचिवः प्रहिष्टो विस्मयान्वितः तस्मै सारीं तान् समर्प्य परां निवृत्तिम् आजगाम. When he listened such type of promise of that Brahman or Guru, then he became very happy and he has dedicated his sons to that Brahman. Vishnu Sarma api tam adaya. Vishnu Sarma has took those students, means three sons, and he has written five tantra. Five tantra means 5 chapter. That is not chapter. That is division of division name that is called as tantra. There are 5 division of this text. Means panchatantra. Panchatantra means the text where 5 division are remaining. Those are मित्रभेद, मित्र संप्राप्ति, काकोलुकीय, लब्ध प्रणास, and अपरीक्षित कारक. There are 5 tantra, and he taught those sons these all the 5 parts of this text. And te pitan aditya sadmasake tathokta samvitaha, and he fulfilled his promise. It means within 6 months all those sons were became expert in morality. ततः प्रभृति एतत् पंचकम पंचतंत्रकम नाम नीति शास्त्रम बालाना बालबोधनार्थम भूतले प्रवृत्तम. That's why this text became in this earth to teach morality to kids. बाल बालावबोधनार्थम बाल अवबोधनार्थम भूतले प्रवृत्तम किम बहुना अधीते च इदं नित्यं नीति शास्त्र शृणोति च न पराभवमाप्नोति शक्रादपि कदाचन. It is well versed here that if someone who is reading, who is understanding this text properly, he will never be defeated by anyone. Even Lord Indra will not be able to defeat them. So now there is a question: what is in this text that if you will read, you will not be defeated by anyone? So this is Kathamukh, or starting point of the story, and it has divided in 5 parts. What I have already mentioned, that mitra bhed, or separation between friends. If you are not united, then what will be the result? Mitra labh, what is the benefits of friendship? And kakolukiyam, the tale of crows and owls, but that is in different way. And labdha pranas, if you are finding that everything you can't save anything, and what you should do at that time, if you are finding that there is nothing to save right now, what you should do at that time. And aparikshit karak means be careful before doing what you are you are trying to do, and which is not in you should not do you should do in certain manner, not the suddenly, so all of sudden. So all these things are there, and you should study such type of text, because this text is very important. And if you try to read, then you will find that is this text is very interesting, and you can understand this text easily. And for you, I just have tried to download. It is written in English, with English translation. And for Hindi students, in the uh, translation, you can find it easily. And what I am finding there. Okay, I will send you the link, or you can find Panchatantra with English translation. In our archive, you can find it easily. I have downloaded, but I am not finding here the link. So you can find that Panchatantra with English translation. That will be for you, because I have started with Kathamukh only, and all 5 parts that you need to read, and that is very easy. You can find it is an easiest way. And there will be prose part and poetry part, and you can quote all those texts in different occasions. So that is very interesting. You should read. So in Buddhist studies, while you are reading Buddhist text regarding Jatak, that is taking different place, and Panchatantra, that is taking different place, and both are very useful to regarding specifically morality. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me, because this is the last class for because on 28th I will not be able to take the